Hello everyone, how are you all? Welcome to my channel Parina Jain Tutorials. Here I am with my new video Control and Coordination. This is your chapter 7 of class 10th science. In this video I am going to give you a brief introduction about control and coordination, that what does it mean, and also we will discuss about neurons. So first of all, we have done in our previous chapter that there are so many life processes which is done by the living organism, like digestion, like excretion, like respiration, circulation. So many activities are there which we do normally in our day-to-day life, and that is done by the cells. So movement is also one of the life processes. Movement in general is done to respond the change in the environment, and the change in the environment is known as the stimuli. The movement of the body parts of organism in response to the stimuli is controlled and coordinated. This control and coordination is controlled by two systems, that is first is the nervous system and second is the endocrine system. So in this chapter we are going to study about first of all that what are stimuli and how we respond against that stimuli, then how these responses are controlled and coordinated by our nervous system and endocrine system. So we are going to study the nervous system and endocrine system in detail in this chapter. First of all, let's understand what is stimuli. The change in the environment to which the living organism respond is called stimuli. The stimuli could be light, could be sound, could be heat, could be pain, could be anything, the change which we see around us. For example, when we see the bright light focusing on our eyes, so we immediately close our eyes. We accidentally, when touch a flame, we remove our hands from that flame. When we are hungry, we think about our favorite meal and the saliva start coming in our mouth. So all these are the changes, the stimuli, and towards those stimuli, the way in which we respond, they are our response. Now, what is coordination? The coordination is the proper response to a stimuli, and this response is given by many organs. When these organs work together to produce a proper response to a stimuli is called coordination. So basically, the coordination is the working together of different organs to respond to a particular stimuli. That is what called coordination. The control and coordination is done in the animals by nervous system and endocrine system. We have two systems which plays a role to control and coordinate. But in plants, there are plant hormones, or also known as phytohormones, which control and coordinate all the activities. Phyto here means the plant. So the plant phytohormones means the plant hormones. Now, first of all, we have the receptors. Receptors are what? They are the sense organs. We have learned in our previous classes about 5 sense organs like ears, eyes, skin, nose and tongue. These are the 5 organs. To these 5 sense organs, we are having a receptors. To the ear, we have phonoreceptors inside the inner ear, and its function is of hearing and balancing the body. In our eyes, there are photoreceptors. Photo means related to light. So by the light only we sense anything. We are able to see anything. So that is why it sense about the visual activities. Then in skin, we have a thermoreceptors. So it sense about pain, touch, heat. In our nose, we are having olfactory receptors. So it sense about smell and in which direction the smell is coming. Then in tongue, we have a gustatory receptors, and it sense about taste. So all these are 5 receptors. Now another we have are effectors. Effectors are mainly the muscles or the glands. These are the effectors. Basically, they are the organs which are going to respond to these stimuli. So these are the muscles or the glands which respond to the information from the brain and the spinal cord through the motor nerves. Means they are going to respond to those stimuli by receiving the information from brain or spinal cord through the motor nerves. Now, what is this motor nerves? let's learn about the nerves in detail, then we'll come to know. So neurons are what? Neurons are the nerve cells, and these nerve cells are the structural and functional unit of nervous system. So we are learning about nervous system here, and in this nervous system, the structural and functional unit, the basic unit is the neuron. So we are having three types of neurons. First one is sensory neuron, the second one is relay neuron, the third one is motor neuron. We have three types of neurons in our body. The sensory neuron's function is to bring the message to the brain or the spinal cord from the receptors. So we have learned the receptors. Receptors are the sense organs. So from the receptors, they bring the messages to the brain or the spinal cord. Then this is the relay neuron. Relay neuron is present inside the spinal cord or in the brain, or this is the basically it receives the impulses from the sensory neuron and plays a role in between. Then this is the motor neuron. Motor neuron takes the impulses from spinal cord or from the brain and take it to the effector organ. So here we are ending with the effector organ. So it sends the message to the effector organ. Now let's learn about the structure of neuron. What all the names are there. So the structure of neuron is like this. This is one cell of neuron. In this cell, we are having a branched unit. This is called dendrites, these branched unit. Then this is the structure which is also known as cytoplasm, because all the cell organelles are there in this cytoplasm, and this cytoplasm is known as soma. Inside the cell, we are also have nucleus. So here we have our nucleus. This is the nucleus. Then we have a long fiber. This long fiber is known as axon. And the messages, the impulses, which because is sent through these axon, through this fiber. So that is why these impulses need to be protected. And for the protection, we are having a myelin sheath. So they are protected by a myelin sheath. This is the myelin sheath. Then this axon, this fiber also have the ending. So this is the nerve endings we have. So this is the structure. Now how the messages are transmitted, what passage they follow. So first of all, the stimulus is generated in the environment. This stimulus is sensed by the receptors. Like if it is for pain or heat, it will be sensed by the skin. If it is related to the visual, so it will be sensed by the eyes. If it is related to the sound, it will be sensed by the ears. So these receptors sense about the stimulus. Then they pass on this message or this impulse to the sensory neuron. The sensory neuron pass on this message to the relay neuron, which is in the spinal cord or in the brain. Then the spinal cord and brain will decide that how we need to respond according to that stimulus. That message will be passed on to the motor neuron, that how we need to respond. That message will be passed on to the motor neuron, and motor neuron then goes to the effector organ, means to the muscle or to the gland, and then that muscle will work according to the message which is given by the brain or the spinal cord. So this is the route map, this is the passage which is followed by the nerve impulses. Now when the messages are transmitted from one neuron to another neuron, do you know that there is a gap between one neuron and the another neuron? Then how these messages are being transmitted? First of all, let's take a look on this picture. This is, for example, the nerve ending of one neuron. And this is the dendrite of the another neuron. This is the dendrite and this is the nerve ending. To this nerve ending, there is a gap. This gap is known as a synapse. This gap is known as a synapse. Now when there is a gap, then how this message, these impulses are being transmitted? When the axon brings the impulses here in the nerve ending, then these impulses transforms into chemicals. These chemicals are known as neurotransmitters. So these neurotransmitters are basically come out to the synapse and then tries to enter into these receptors. These are the channel gates. You see that these are the receptors. This dendrite will be known as a postsynaptic cell, and this nerve ending will be this one will be presynaptic neuron. So this first neuron will be presynaptic, previous one, and this second one in which the message need to be transmitted. So this second one will be postsynaptic neuron. In between these pre and postsynaptic neuron, there is a gap which is known as synapse, and these impulses, the messages, has been converted into chemicals. These chemicals are known as neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters come to these receptors, the channel gates, and through these receptors they enter into the dendrites of the postsynaptic neuron. So this is how the messages, the impulses are being transmitted. So what we have learned, the axon brings the impulses. The impulses, when reaches to the nerve ending, they turn into chemicals which are known as neurotransmitters. These neurotransmitters come out of this nerve ending and pass on into the next dendrite through these receptors. So this is the mechanism. Now, in between the neurons, there is also a very big role of our brain and spinal cord. And brain and spinal cord together makes a central nervous system. So brain and spinal cord are basically the headquarters which control and coordinate all the activities. So these are the main deciding organs, or they have a center for our thoughts, which decides that for that stimuli what we need to respond. For example, if we are responding in terms of talking, so if we have listened some words, so what we need to answer. So all these things are being judged by our central nervous system. Now it's a time to learn about reflex action. So what is a reflex action? It is an extremely quick, automatic, sudden action in response to the stimuli. So what is going on in the environment, the stimuli which is received by our sense organs. So to those sense organs, when we respond, and that extremely quick and automatic and sudden action is called reflex action. For example, immediately pulling back of our fingers on touching the hot plate, closing our eyes when flashlight or high intensity light flashed on our eyes, salivation when hungry, blinking of our eyes. There are so many, beating of our heart. So there are so many functions which takes place in our body. Some are knowingly and some are unknowingly. All these activities are known as reflex action. The pathway through which the nerves travel, that pathway is known as reflex action. So what is the pathway now? Let's understand the complete pathway. The stimulus is first generated in the environment. That stimulus is sent by the receptors. Receptors send the impulses to the sensory nerves. The sensory nerves will send these impulses to the spinal cord through the relay nerve. Then through the relay nerve, the spinal cord will send the message that how we need to respond. So that message will be that impulse or message will be transferred to the motor nerves. That motor nerve will bring this message to the effector. Effector means muscle or the gland, and that muscle or gland will respond accordingly. So they will give the response. So this is the whole pathway, and this pathway is known as the reflex arc. Now let's understand by the example. For example, if we have touched a hot plate, so our skin, which is having a thermoreceptors, they will sense the stimulus about the heat. Then this impulse will be sent through the sensory neuron. The sensory neuron will pass the message to the relay neuron. The relay neuron is there in the spinal cord. The spinal cord will give the judgment to the motor neuron. The motor neuron will bring the message to the effector organ. And effector organ means muscle will contract and pull the arms away. Let's take another example. For example, if we are pricked by the cactus, by the pointed end, so the pain which is received as the stimulus, that will be sensed by the thermoreceptors of our skin. The skin will give the message to the sensory neuron. The sensory neuron will pass on the message to the relay neuron in the spinal cord, and then this message will be bring from the spinal cord through the motor neuron to the effector organs, means to the muscles. Now we know that whenever we have experienced the hot plate, we immediately pull the hand away. That means this message, this whole pathway is carried out so fast. So you could imagine that in fraction of seconds this happens, and in fraction of second all these nerve impulses, the brain, the spinal cord, the effector organ, our sensory organs, all these work together and coordinate together. So this how fast this whole action is. Now there are two types of reflexes in our body. One is unconditional reflexes, the other one is conditional reflexes. The unconditional reflexes are the reflexes which we receive by birth, which is not acquired, they are received by birth. And these are the common reflexes which every person do, whether it is a child or an adult or in of every country, any country. Every person do the same response when some stimulus is bring near to it. For example, blinking of eyes when an object is brought very close to the eyes, or when someone claps on front of your face, then we blink our eyes. So these are some unconditional reflexes that we unknowingly do it in the same manner. But some are conditional reflexes. Conditional reflexes are the acquired skills. For example, horse riding, a beautiful handwriting if someone have, the playing of a piano, typing on a computer, or playing a chess, or dancing, singing, means any skill, any extraordinary skill, if we have acquired, if we have learned the training in that. So all these skills are the conditional reflexes, because that particular organism only is able to do, to perform that task extraordinarily. So that is our conditional reflexes. So this is all now, students. It's a time to answer the questions now. Tap me down in the comment section if you want some any other topics from me. Thank you for now, and stay healthy.